our parameters have to be global, our benchmarks have to be global, also our strategies have to be global. And that's not only because it's our stake, because the world now expects that from us. Today, world looks up to us with a lot of expectation, also with a lot of esteem. Gone are the days when India was hardly taken seriously, and it was general opinion that either we were indifferent to such concerns, or we were ignorant, or maybe we were not too deeply involved in this, but no longer so. In fact, in many of these concerns, we are now taking a lead. And therefore, it's not only a challenge that we have to live up to, it's also a commitment. And ever since Prime Minister Modi has taken over in the last 10 years, since 2014, it has become increasingly important for India not only to be an equal player, but also sometimes offer cues for others to follow, which is more than evident in the last 10 years. For example, if you take a simple instance of the space sector, the Indian Space Research Organization, or the ISRO, was formed in 1969, which is the year which has gone down in the history as the year when Americans landed the first human being on the surface of the moon, called Neil Armstrong, and we were just being born. But today, we have landed on the southern pole of the moon before anybody else. And those who were ahead of us are now waiting for our inputs, for our cues to carry forward their programs. So why I'm saying so is that there's a huge, huge departure, which would be appreciated by those who have seen those times and also seeing these times. There was a time about, say, 2 decades back, 3 decades back, that we were mostly a decade or two behind other countries as far as our technology is concerned. I think, again, the simplest example of that is that the television, which happened in the US in 1950s, and nowadays most of you are also enjoying those presidential TV debates because the presidential election is going on in USA, and that is the time when the presidential candidate debates capture the entire slot. The famous election of 1960 was determined, as far as the outcomes are concerned, by the TV debate when John Kennedy turned the tables on Richard Nixon, and Richard Nixon was a formidable candidate, but because of his oratorial skills, his charisma, and his screen presence, Kennedy could carry the day. And here in India, in 1960, we neither knew what is TV nor the debate. The TV happened in India only, I think, in 1970s, that too by a weekly Chitrahar, which was available for people living in Delhi, else as the country, that too was not available. So we have to realize that when we understand what is our commitment today, what is our responsibility today as far as the world arena is concerned. Today,